Hello and welcome. Hope you have seen the latest Marvel film that's taken the world by storm. So that's your spoiler warning for you there. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it and come back to see 15 comic book Easter eggs for fanboys and girls from Captain America: Civil War. Okay, we good? I think we're good. Let's get to that list. Falcon's Red Wing. Sam Wilson played a heavy role in Civil War as Falcon's sidekick. Red Wing made its on-screen debut. In the comics, Red Wing is literally a red falcon. Red Wing in the film is a robot that Falcon employs to help him in battle. In the comics though, Falcon is able to communicate with birds and give them orders, kinda like with Aquaman and his underwater friends. I doubt this is something we're ever going to see in the films, thanks to the more realistic approach the Marvel movies are taking. But you never know, we've seen everything from talking raccoons to artificial intelligence peacekeeping programs turn to humanity-killing machine. Vision's humanistic traits. In the comics, Vision began wearing clothes to try to blend in more. We saw Vision styling some fashionable sweaters in Civil War. We also got to see the comic-based romance between Vision and Wanda in the film. It began in Avengers Age of Ultron and it continued into Civil War. The two characters seemed to care for one another even though there were no obvious romantic gestures. We do know they were both stuck in a luxurious house together with plenty of privacy. You know, until Hawkeye ruined Vision's night, of course, and most likely caused him a case of blue balls. All jokes aside, the comic romance between the two are being translated into the MCU as the roots were planted for romance in future films between Vision and Scarlet Witch. The Sokovia Accords. The Avengers and Ultron fought a great battle in Sokovia, where destruction caused numerous casualties. This is when the general public became afraid of the Avengers' powers and the government shifted towards more control over the enhanced individuals. This is how the Sokovia Accords was born in the films. The Accords state that the Avengers shall no longer be a private organization, instead they'll operate under the supervision of a United Nations panel, only when and if that panel deems it necessary. In the comics, the legislative bill was called the Superhuman Registration Act. It serves pretty much the same purpose as the Sokovia Accords, as it enforced mandatory registration of superpowered individuals with the government. Many superheroes would be against the Superhuman Registration Act due to the fact that they were required to surrender their real names to the government. This obviously entailed the loss of their secret identities. Spiderman Pizza? This might not be a comic book reference, but when we first meet Peter Parker, he is sporting an unzipped jacket and underneath that a white t-shirt with the red pizza design on it. This could be referencing Peter Parker's pizza delivery job in the opening of Spider-Man 2. Perhaps this Peter Parker may be working at the same place? We may find out in Spider-Man Homecoming. Spiderman Webshooters. I could probably make a separate video for just Spider-Man alone, but let's talk about his mechanical web shooters. Thank God they didn't go with the original trilogy's organic natural webbing. Spider-Man has always been one of the most brilliant Marvel superheroes, and Peter making his own webbing and web shooter is best for this new and improved, well-balanced Spider-Man. By having Peter create the formula for the webbing, he'll be able to continue making more and not to have to rely on anyone. Well, besides Tony Stark's funding, of course. Hopefully, for Peter's sake, Aunt May isn't around the next time Tony makes a visit to Queens.
So hard for me to believe that she's someone's aunt.
Yeah, well, they come in all shapes and sizes, you know.
Classic Spider-Man. We were all in shock and excitement when we first saw Spider-Man make his debut in the trailer of Civil War, as he gets a hold of Captain America's shield with his iconic webbing. This is seen in the comics as well. Spider-Man is also given a new Stark designed suit, while in the comics he's given the Iron Spider suit. The role of comedy relief Spider-Man played in the movie was also very accurate to his comedic standards in the comics.
Nice job, kid.
Thanks. Well, I could have stuck the landing a little better. It's just a new suit. Wait, it's nothing, Mr. Stark. It's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't really need to start a conversation.
Okay. Captain? Big fan of Spider-Man?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Just...
Hey, everyone. You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude. You have the right to remain silent. Hey, buddy, I think you lost this. Guys, look, I'd love to keep this up, but I've only got one job here today, and I got to impress Mr. Stark, so I'm really sorry. What?
We also see his logo projector thingy at the end of the post-credit scenes, plus Spider-Man lifting up That walkway is a classic Spider-Man moment from numerous comics and films alike. And I really do mean numerous, like that time. Oh yeah, I remember that time. Oh, there's this one time too.
Hi.
Hi.
This is really heavy.
Arrow riding Ant-Man. Ant-Man rides on the tip of Hawkeye's arrow as he lands on Iron Man's armor and starts messing with his interior design. Ant-Man and Hawkeye can be seen using this method of attack on the cover of Avengers 223. Giant Man. Many say Ant-Man stole the show. Giant Man probably had a lot to do with stealing the show. Hank Pym is the original Giant Man, and he was first seen in Tales to Astonish number 27.
You know that part? Where they're on the snow planet? With the walking thingies!
Maybe the kid's onto something.
Hi now, Tony, go high.
Yes! That was awesome!
Unmasked Spider-Man. During the epic airport battle in the movie, Spider-Man was somewhat unmasked after taking a beating. This is a major plot point in the comics, as in the original Civil War storyline, Spider-Man plays an important role when he unmasks himself in public, agreeing to the Superhuman Registration Act. The Raft, or Prison 42. The Raft that kept Hawkeye, Falcon, Ant-Man, and Scarlet Witch imprisoned is Prison 42 from the Civil War comic. The Raft originally was a prison for supervillains. However, Prison 42 was built to house those who disagreed with Tony Stark and the Superhuman Registration Act. Prison 42 existed in the Negative Zone and had teleportation portals for every state so that outlaws could be brought in immediately. However, Marvel Studios doesn't have the film rights to the Negative Zone, as those rights are owned by Fox with the Fantastic Four license. And we all know how great Fox is doing with that franchise. Tony Stark's parents' death. In both the movies and the comics, Howard and Maria Stark are killed in a car accident that isn't actually an accident. While the comics never make clear who the culprit was, the movie leaves no doubt that Bucky Barnes, as the Winter Soldier, did kill Tony's parents. Iron Man analyzed Captain America's fight pattern. This moment in one of the best battles Marvel Studios has ever produced was straight from the comics. A desperate Iron Man analyzes Captain America's fight pattern to get the upper hand. Iron Face bashed in. When Captain America knocks off Iron Man's helmet with his trusty shield and then contemplates whether to bash his face in or not is also done very similarly in the comics. Giant Black Panther statues. The African nation of Wakanda was revealed in Civil War, especially during one of the post-credit scenes where we got a look at some Giant Panther statues that resembled the statues in Wakanda from the comics. Iconic Civil War moment. The final fight was an epic conclusion that included one iconic moment from both film and comic, when Captain America holds his shield up and Iron Man blasts it, which is straight from the cover of Civil War. And that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and comment below what was your favorite moment in Captain America Civil War. Stay tuned for more TV and movie reviews and lists. This is Tofu TViews signing out.
Captain America.
Mr. Lang?
It's an honor. I'm shaking your hand too long. Wow, this is awesome. Captain America. I know you too. You're great. Jeez.